All right, the topic we're going to be covering today is, should you use 529s to help save for your children's education? And the short answer is yes, absolutely. But there are some things to be aware of, some benefits that are provided by a 529 account, but there's also some drawbacks that you need to be aware of as well. And we're also going to discuss some potential alternatives to a 529 that you can utilize if for some reason the 529 doesn't check all the right boxes for you. So what are the benefits of using a 529? Well, first and foremost, there's a tremendous amount of tax benefit provided by a 529 account. And I would actually say that these accounts are triple tax advantaged. Why? Well, if you contribute money into a 529, in most states, and you have to check where you live, you get a deduction up to a certain limit for the contributions that you make. And so if you're single and make a contribution, there's a limit for you. If you're married, that limit gets a little bit higher. So there's a limit on the deductions that you can take advantage of, but there is no limit to how much you can actually put into the 529 account itself. So there's a tax benefit when you make a contribution. And there's also a tax benefit once the money's in the account. As the money grows, it grows tax-free. So any earnings that are generated, dividends, interest, capital gains, all that is tax sheltered. And you're going to be accessing an account that provides tax deferred growth, and that can be powerful over a period of 18 years. And then finally, you have the ability to take money out of that account tax-free as long as that money is being used on qualifying expenses like tuition, room and board, maybe a computer and internet access. So those are all tremendous amount of benefits that this account provides, and absolutely should be used if you like the idea of taking advantage of the tax benefits provided by a 529 account. So, but what are some drawbacks of using a 529? Well, there are some limited investment options in the 529 accounts that are out there. You can't go buy anything. They're going to have a set menu available, and you have to make do with what's available through the platform. Here in Illinois, we have Bright Start. That's a big one, but you just have limited options available to you to help you get to where you want to go as far as saving for your children's education. There are very strong penalties involved if you don't use the monies for those qualifying expenses. And this is where we get a lot of questions as far as, should I be doing a 529? What other options are available to you? Because what if my kid doesn't go to school? Or what if they get a scholarship to some degree and they don't use all these monies? You obviously can reassign the monies to a new beneficiary. But still, it's a painful thing to think about all this money you saved up, and then all of a sudden your kid doesn't go to school. What do you do with all this money? Well, if you don't use it for qualifying expenses, there's a lot of penalty involved. The good news is here, though, that just recently the government passed through the Secure Act 2.0 that you can actually move a portion of the 529 monies that aren't used into a Roth IRA. There's a limit to how much you can do, but pretty neat that they're allowing you to do that because they're recognizing, the issue here. And that leads us to the next question, though. What's an alternative to using a 529? Well, I would say simply opening up a brokerage account and contributing money into a brokerage account in an after-tax fashion, right? Your money has already been taxed. You're putting it into a brokerage account, investing it in a low-cost diversified investment vehicle like an exchange-traded fund that's going to grow over time. It's going to be very limited from an expense perspective. It's going to not pay out capital gains every year. But you will have to pay capital gains eventually when you sell your position. But what is the true benefit of using a brokerage account? It's simply the flexibility it provides in being able to use the money for whatever you want to. And the other thing to know is that when you have a 529 in a child's name, that counts as an asset that the child owns, and that can impact potential financial aid. When you have a brokerage account held in your name and not the child's, and you're going to use that money for their college, you are not going to run into impacting any financial aid, which is another benefit of maybe not using a 529. But let's wrap it all up here. I think there's benefits to both, and you should truly diversify yourself and take advantage of the benefits provided by the 529 through taxes and the tax benefit provided, but also the flexibility provided to the brokerage account. And so, what you can do is maybe split up the contributions or maybe have more money going into one account versus the other, depending on your goals and then your concerns as well. So, obviously, if you have questions, please leave a comment below. Feel free to reach out to us. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And until next time, have a great day.